Hi there, good afternoon and happy Saturday. Welcome to a new vlog. Right, today I have decided I'm going to go and fly my drone. Now, living in London, as I've described before, there's not really many opportunities to do this. I mean, technically I could do it here, as long as it was non-commercial and I had the permission of the people who own the crematorium, as long as I was 50 metres from buildings and people. But as you can see, the 50 metre rule makes it difficult. In your own garden, you're not 50 metres from anything, from other people's properties generally, unless you have a massive garden. 50 metres from other people is quite tricky. And if you go into most parks, most of them won't allow you to fly drones. National Trust properties won't without permission. Kew won't without permission. Richmond Park is the only one of the royal parks that will, and that's only in that tiny little area that I've flown in before. And everywhere around here is Class D airspace. So technically you shouldn't really, it's not legal, but you shouldn't really fly it unless you have really good control. You certainly can't fly it commercially without permission from Heathrow. So I'm going to go to one of the few places that you can go where there is no airspace restrictions. But to get out of Class D airspace, we're going to have to go a little way.
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
So I've had to come 15 kilometres south to Cobham and Stoke Davenant. If you've heard of this, it might be because this is where one of Chelsea's training grounds is. To get out of controlled airspace, which I'm now in. But obviously there are power lines and there are hazards, but aside from those, you can fly if you can get 50 metres away from buildings and people, which we will now attempt to do. Side note, I'm a big fan of places with a D apostrophe in their name, as you might imagine. Got somewhat of an unconscious bias towards that. Notwithstanding, obviously, it's a beautiful day and that is biasing me somewhat. It is really, really nice around here. I don't know why I'm surprised. I just don't think I knew. But it's lovely. I, for one, am impressed. So here we go. Those people are walking away from me. There's no buildings or people within 50 metres. I don't want to get too close to those power lines over there. But if I take off in the middle of the path here, then this is a totally legal place to fly without any bylaws or what have you getting in the way. I think I can see partridges in those fields. Obviously you have to be aware of where there's birds nesting and things, and I know you're probably thinking, oh my god, he's making such a big deal of this, like, god, how hard is it to fly a drone? The answer is much harder than you think, and most people don't put the effort in, and most people are in breach of the law most of the time, which isn't great, which is why the law's going to end up being changed, and then everyone's really going to kick off. So you might as well get to know it now. That's my feeling.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 Here we go again. Time is up and I'm calling up my friends. Ain't no wonder why, ain't no one to ride to. Here we go again. Call me up and you wanna be my friend. I'm the one you ride to. I can help you out. 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 Look, if you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 I can help you out.
So that was fun. It's always interesting flying somewhere you don't know, and you get to see some more interesting things. And the weather's so gorgeous that everything looks beautiful. I've had my lunch. Crystal made me a packed lunch, and she's gone off to the hairdressers, so I know I'm definitely having a better time. But no access. Yeah, it's a lovely day for a bit of exploring, and God, you could come back here with a picnic. The Mole River is running along to the left of me, which is what you saw. That's what I was flying the drone over. We're sort of on a corner, so we're going to cross it again here. And then I'll just see where this path takes me. It is crazily beautiful, and I'm being swamped by butterflies, which is wonderful. Hang on, let's go and have a check out the river. There's nobody here. Like, you know, I've passed a couple of people initially, but if you compare it to what Richmond Park and Kew Gardens is like at the moment, it's rather a different experience. It's the creek. Wow. Special. So this is part of the Cobham Park estate, as you might have seen on that sign that said keep out. They don't own the air above the land. That's owned by it's regulated by the Civil Aviation Authority. And there's no NOTAMs, which are notices to airmen to say that you can't fly in that area. So you just have to pay good heed, be cautious. Wish I'd bought a second picnic now. This is ridiculous. It's just too gorgeous, and I just want to live here. Now, yes, you can hear the M25. But, I mean, if that's the only compromise, I mean, bloody hell. Seriously. When I came and did filming about a year ago, last Feb, we were up this way at a farm. I don't know exactly where, but it all feels a little familiar. I mean, it could just be me just making that up, but it was somewhere in the Cobham area. I can't remember exactly where. I think this is a wheat growing. And there's a little chapel. Nice. downside, incidentally, which has no downside as far as I can tell. Is the pub for sale? Maybe I should buy the pub. Yes, we just had a little fly around the green here. I could see the route that I walked along. Actually, if we take a still from the video, you can actually trace the route that I walked along. Right, let's get back to the station. I've got to go home, unfortunately, and make pizza dough. I mean, life could be worse. What a difference a few hours makes. The tide was so low when I left, and now look at it. Literally ducks swimming up and down the road. Good old spring tides. Bit intense. Good morning from Gloucester Road, the Gloucester Road. It's looking pretty magnificent today. We are just on our way down to the London State Company for our Easter / original anniversary meal. That's good, isn't it? Very nice. We've just been walking through Kensington looking at everyone's private gardens that we're not allowed in, admiring the spring flowers and wisteria there. And I've been desperately trying to get into some of these gardens, but the first one we couldn't, which was I think Hereford Gardens, we couldn't find any gates, and all the others have big signs say private, no entrance, and they're locked, which is a bit rude. Happy baby squirrel day. That's what Easter's all about. Tiny animals. Good afternoon, just. Here you can see Mortlake Brewery as it currently stands, a closed brewery, shortly to be demolished and turned into flats. I mean, on the whole, from this side, it is a very ugly brewery. There's no denying that. There is a nice old brick part, but you can't see it from here. So I don't think anyone's going to be gutted about that going. But there are questions as to what the new buildings will look like and whether any part of this field will remain, which is obviously upsetting the very locals, because this was bequeathed for use by the residents in a very, very old will, over 100 years ago now, by the guy who originally set up a brewery here. He never actually gave the land, he just gave the usage of the land, which has caused a few problems. Anyway, I am off to go and try and rustle up some vegetables for Veggie Day. Oh, check that out. Good flowers. Good work. Yes, so I've just got to do that. I've done more parade videos this morning because they never end. I'm really resigned to the fact that I'll just be doing them forever, for as long as I live, pretty much now. And I've got to get back on to another project that has been sitting in the sidelines for a while. And it's Tuesday, we've had Easter, it was a lovely 4 days, but reality now has to resume. Today is St George's Day. It is also Shakespeare's birthday and Shakespeare's death day. His last birthday was not a good one for him, and bizarrely it's not a national holiday. So all the other component parts of the United Kingdom have a holiday on their Saint's Day. So St David's Day, St Andrew's Day, St Patrick's Day, etc, etc. But St George's Day, nope. Which is a bit of an outrage, to be honest, and not so much because of the Palestinian bloke who killed a dragon, but more because of Shakespeare, who's pretty important. What a difference a week makes. To be fair, it is after 5 o'clock, but also there just wasn't a lot of kids in here today. I saw people coming out and it's a different crowd. There are still some places where these holidays are ongoing, but most of the schools have gone back. So we're now back to a normal number of visitors for a sort of weekday afternoon in the middle of spring. That's what spring looks like to me. pale leaves, new on a tree with bluebells at the foot. Amazing. Nonetheless, there's a lot of other things happening. So I'm going to do a little walk and end up back at the retail park to buy some things. Today has been interesting but not overly constructive, so tomorrow needs to be constructive but not overly interesting. So that'll be my mission. I think it's going to be nice tomorrow morning and afternoon, so if I'm going to get out I have to get out early and then come back and do some work whilst it's raining. Goslings, excellent. I knew there was another reason this time of year was awesome. It's 6:30 in Kew and it's a bit gloomy but still very warm, all things considered. I need to go home because Crystal's going to be home in 20 minutes and I'm not home because I went out for a wander and got distracted. So speed walk time. Good afternoon. I am on my way to Kew Green, to the Cricketers pub to meet up with Adam, have a catch up. Gets me away from my screen, which is very good. Yesterday, barely left the house. In fact, I think I only left once to go to M&S, and other than that, I was in all day, so I did almost no steps, and it was terrible. So, I'm going to try and make up for it a bit. Always nice to have a wander around the gardens. And it's quite a mixed day today, but still, when the sun comes out, spring is great. So that was a fun catch up with Adam, and at the end of this year is going to be interesting. Good morning. It's reasonably early by my standards. It's only just gone 8 o'clock, but I looked at the weather forecast and it said it was nice this morning and not this afternoon. So I thought, if I don't get out and do something, I'm going to be staring out the window this afternoon, regretting my decision. So here we are, wandering through the back alleys of Kew. I'm heading to towpath. Ultimately, I'm going to go round to Ham, visit the Palm Centre because I've never been there and the weather's nice, and then I've got to come back, do some more work this afternoon when the weather's terrible, and pack and probably get a haircut as well. Tomorrow, next vlog to you and I will be in town with my brother and my dad on a cheese tasting. You might remember I did one a while back for my birthday, I think, sort of last summer. It was very good. So we got one for my dad for his birthday. Different cheese, I think, but so that's what we're doing come Saturday midday, and then more packing required because I won't have done any. Going to Avi's housewarming birthday party on Saturday night, and then Sunday we have to leave to check into our hotel at Gatwick because we're getting up really early the following morning. So next vlog is going to be slightly frantic to begin with, and then it's going to be Seville and sunshine and 28-29 degrees. So that's going to be very nice. Check out the wisteria, it's amazing. Actually, this street is particularly good for it. This is like the 4th house I've passed at this point. You can see more down there. Well, would if it let me zoom, there's one there. I just keep going. Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Spring's awesome. So that brings me on to the word of the week, which this week is the verb to fly, because we're getting on a plane on very early on Monday morning. So the verb to fly is the word of the week. So, first of all, in German, the verb to fly is fliegen. Fliegen is to fly in German. So you would say, if you want to say I'm flying, you'd say ich fliege. Ich fliege. So fliegen and ich fliege. And in Italian, the verb to fly is volare, which you might know from various songs. Volare is the verb to fly, and if you say I am flying, or I fly, you could say io volo, io volo. So So there we go, that is fly in German and Italian, and that is this week's word of the week. So the wisteria is still nice, but if you look over here, the sky is a little menacing. But I'm going to trust in the forecasting and keep going. This may turn out to be a bad idea, but only time will tell. Welcome to a pretty quiet towpath, not really surprising at this time. The weather is like yesterday morning really, it's sort of up and down, it's very odd. When the sun comes out it's lovely, but then when it goes away again it's like, oh god, this could turn quick. Just walking along the boundary of Kew Gardens, which isn't open for another hour, so I couldn't have gone through if I'd wanted to. Down towards Richmond and then onwards to Ham House. Never really looked inside of this bit of Kew from the outside. This is the nature reserve, which you can't really get into. There is the boardwalk along the other side, so it's kind of far along that way somewhere. So you never really see this bit, and in spring it looks amazing with the bluebells out and some of the wildflowers, and then the flood canal, which is the water that comes in from the river here. There we go, there's the end of the gardens. There's a wall in here. It feels like it's hiding a secret gate, but it really isn't. And then from this point onwards, it is the golf course, where the King's Observatory is, where we visited back in March. So this would have all been part of, obviously, royal land, because the gardens were part of the estate of Kew Palace, and what is the golf course, it was part of the old deer park, which is obviously also royal estate. Basically everything around here was royal estate. That's a good rule of thumb. As I mentioned, there's the King's Observatory through there. This is supposed to be a protected sight line, but it's overgrown slightly. This line here was the original meridian line that the King set his clock by at the Houses of Parliament before they moved the meridian to Greenwich. And it runs from here straight through the park and out to the other side. We'll actually see the pillars on the other side as we continue around on the path. This was the original meridian. It occurs to me that I skipped over the 8th of April, which, because it's 3 days before my birthday, I kind of fly past it a lot, but it's the vlogiversary, 9 years of this nonsense and still going. I'm getting worse. I laugh, but I am actually getting worse at it. It's the only thing that I've done for this long that I'm consistently getting worse at. I'm getting better at not minding that I look like an idiot, but I'm getting worse at, you know, the regularity, punctuality and structured content. But what can you do? You keep getting distracted by things like this tractor. And there we go, there's the... Where exactly are we? So this is the southern vista of the Meridian line, and it runs down there. If you do a big zoom, you might be able to see, yeah, the bollard. There we go, sorry. There's the stone, what's the word I'm looking for? Obelisk that marks the line towards the King's Observatory. And there's, if you come back this way, you'll notice there's 2 more obelisks there, and they mark... Well, the Meridian line technically is supposed to run from that obelisk between those 2 obelisks there. So I don't quite know why they put this line here, because it's not in the right place. But, you know, they tried. I'm at the Palm Centre in Ham, which is an amazing garden centre, by the way. So you can buy these very old olive trees. So the ones in the grey buckets are from 1926. Let's have a look when these ones are from. These are from 1897, so they're 122 years old, and these ones, these are amazing. I have no idea what they cost, but the most impressive thing about them is they're from 1830. They are just shy of 200-year-old olive trees. Isn't that amazing? So, interesting. Palm Centre, a really good selection of tropical plants, as you might imagine, and some quite impressive, large and old trees as well. I'm going to get on the bus and go home because I have to do some work now because it's coming up to midday.